What was sent to me
Listen to me.
was that
Stop moving. Be still. We are talking about you. You still smoking a cigarette. You are fidgeting around. I know court can be very nerve-wracking. They read your charges. It says homicide, 3 counts of child abuse.
Welcome to Rebel Chaser. My name is Gail, and I have 2 clips for you from the 36th District Court in Michigan. They stem from the same case, and it is a case that started back in December. These 2 parents left their children home alone, fairly young children, and a 5-year-old boy got a hold of a loaded weapon and shot himself in the face. And now the parents are being charged with his homicide. And I'll let you guys watch.
Calling case number 230-604-2201. The people of the state of Michigan versus Sterling Marquise Minion, which is defendant number 1. Defendant 2 is Halissa Brown. Okay. Defendant 1 and 2 are being charged for count 1, homicide, manslaughter, and voluntary. Count 2 and 3 and 4, child abuse, 2nd degree. Defendant 1 is being charged with count 5, weapons, firearm possession by a felon. Defendants 1 and 2 is being charged with weapons, felony, firearm. Count 7, defendants 1 and 2 being charged with weapons, felony, firearm. Defendants 1 and 2 is also being charged with count 8 and 9, which are also weapons, felony, firearm. Defendant 1 is a habitual offender. 2nd offense notice, set for probable cause today.
All right. Good morning. Appearances for the record, starting with the assistant prosecuting attorney, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Tiffany Woods, P86189 for the people.
And good morning, Your Honor. Erin Wilmeth, P82085, also appearing on behalf of the people.
All right.
Good morning, Your Honor, and good morning to your staff. My name is Ted Wallace, P80922, and I represent Mr. Sterling Minion, who is present by Zoom.
And good morning, Your Honor. Rita White on behalf of Mother Halissa Brown. She is also present via Zoom. My P number is P63046.
All right. Today is the date and time set for a probable cause conference in this matter. Are there any outstanding discovery issues at this point in time?
Your Honor,
oh, no, it's not. I'll speak it first. First, I'll let the APA speak. APA Woods, I saw you stop, so you speak first.
Judge, I need to have a judge sign the kids talk order before I can release the kids talks to both defense counsels. I did email those over. I emailed the one for defense counsel Ted Wallace a couple days ago, and then I did just email the one for defense counsel White. I did receive hers yesterday afternoon, so I emailed that first thing this morning when I got into the office. So they haven't had an opportunity to view the kids talks, and how it works in evidence.com is all of the body cams are in there with the kids talk, so I haven't been able to release any of the body cams to them as well, and the defendant's interview. So the defense counsel hasn't had a chance to view any of that evidence yet.
Okay. All right. Well, if you send them to me, and I can get you my email address, I'll sign them so that you can be able to release them over. So that we can get that to them as soon as possible, so that you don't have to wait to do something like that. Okay. Attorney, I saw Attorney White and Wallace. So Attorney Wallace, since your client was called first, did you have a question about discovery or outstanding discovery at this time?
Yeah, well, Your Honor, I think that Sister Counsel has addressed the video discovery. I think that but I believe there should be some pictures and hopefully some kind of ballistics reports or something. We don't have any evidence, no shell casing, nothing like that, or anything like that. I shouldn't say nothing like that.
Yes, Judge, all of that is on in the same case in evidence.com. So as soon as I can get the kids talk order signed, I can send the whole case over to both defense counsels.
Okay. All right. What about for you, Attorney White?
Yes, Your Honor. I join in with Attorney Wallace's request. That was mainly what my request was going to be, plus the video. So I'm not going to duplicate.
Okay. All right. Okay. So when all that evidence is turned over, I know that we are looking to place this for a preliminary exam. Is that correct?
Yes.
That's
That's
correct.
correct, Your Honor.
Okay. I've been told that the date I have, this is a homicide. Yes.
Yes.
Is January 11th, 2024, starting at 11:30 to 1:30. Is there some availability at those times for everyone involved?
I'm available. I would like to see if my other defense or the other prosecuting attorney is available on that date. That's Miss Wilmoth.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I am scheduled to be in a jury trial. I would be available the next week.
All right. So anything beyond this date, this is the only date I've been authorized to give out today. So I'll have to put it for PCC on January 2nd if this doesn't work.
I will be out of the country on January 2nd, Your Honor. I will have my phone, so I guess I can zoom in.
I'm about to say you're gonna have to do that because if y'all can't come to a date, the only date I've been authorized to give out today is January 11th, 2024. So
Okay.
if
So
y'all
we'd
can't
have
come
to do so the
Pardon me?
PCC would be January 11th, Judge.
I can also do what about January 16th?
I'm
Thank
not
you.
available. I can't do that date.
All right.
But I'm free to
Darn.
zoom in on January 2nd because I really want to make sure we have what we were requesting ready for the preliminary
Okay.
examination before it proceeds. So
All right.
if we can have a January
I
2nd.
understand. All right. So I'll put this as a PCC 8:30 a.m. on January 2nd, 2024. I believe that both of your parties are in custody. Is that correct, Attorney Wallace and White?
No, they're not in custody, Your Honor. They're out.
Okay. Well, I'll
And
let
Judge,
Byron.
And Judge, just for the record, the medical examiner's report is being finalized, so that will be forthcoming as well.
All right. Yeah, I think it's best that we wait because I would hate for us to select a preliminary exam date and then everything is not ready, especially with the impending holiday. I know that everyone won't be working at full staff during the next week and a half. So I want to make sure that we have everything in place before we continue. So anything else from the people, Ms. Woods or Ms. Wellmar?
yes, Judge. The people are asking to modify Mr. Minion's release conditions. Judge, I did have an opportunity to receive some police reports and I emailed those over to Ted Wallace yesterday. It appears that Mr. Minion has had police contact.
Mr. Minion, are you smoking on this hearing right now? Did I see cigarette smoke coming out of your car? And Miss Brown, you've been doing a lot too. Put yourself on mute. You've been fixing your hair. This is a criminal court. These are criminal matters. I don't see anything on here that is a low offense today. So if you are out and about and you are maneuvering through life and you're his co-defendant, listen. Sir. Go ahead, Ms. Woods.
Judge, I've received some police reports and I did have an opportunity to email those over to Ted Wallace yesterday. It appears that Mr. Minion has had several contacts with police since he has been released. One, he allegedly broke into Miss Brown's apartment and stole some birth certificates from her apartment. Another police report that he was in a confrontation with Miss Minion's, with Miss Brown's family members. Apparently they threatened him having to do with something to do with him taking the birth certificates. We also were notified by CPS that during a meeting at CPS, Mr. Minion and Miss Brown's family members were threatening, making threats towards each other. Police had to be called there to break up that. There may have been another assault that happened, but I have not been able to receive any police reports on those two incidences. So I have, I believe, 4 police contacts. I have 2 incidents, definitely police records, police reports. At this point, Judge, we're asking to at least put a tether on Mr. Minion, due in the fact that that this is going on, alleged burglary, and then some, assaultive behavior between these two parties. So we are concerned at this point, and we would ask the judge that you would at least put a tether on Mr. Minion.
Your Honor, we would object. First of all, there's nothing that was sent to me that shows that Mr. Minion had police contact. What was sent to me
Mr. Minion,
was that
stop moving. Be still. We are talking about you. You still smoking a cigarette. You are fidgeting around. I know court can be very nerve-wracking. They read your charges. It says homicide, 3 counts of child abuse, possession of a felony firearm, and you moving all around. Stop moving. Sit still. There we go. You got to focus for a moment. This is very serious. And the fact that both of you are looking at me on cameras from wherever location y'all are, y'all need to be in top tier shape right now, because that's not helping your cause. All right, go ahead, Attorney Wallace.
Your Honor, so from what was sent to me and what was put on the record by the APA today, nothing has been, there hasn't been any police contact or allegations of police contact. There's been reports from one defendant making reports to the police about the other one, but there's been no police contact. There has been a lot of high emotions because there's a 5-year-old that passed away from this event. But putting a tether on Mr. Minion just because the co-defendant has made police reports, one of them being for allegedly stealing his own child's birth certificate so he can make arrangements for a funeral, that I don't think that constitutes needing a tether to monitor him. And in the police report, the allegation was Mr. Minion had a key to this apartment and he got the birth certificate of his child to plan a funeral. Everything else is just one person making comments. Anybody can go make a police report about someone. The police have not, Mr. Minion has not even been talking to the police. So we'd object to there being a tether.
Judge, I would just like to make one more comment about the burglary. From the police report, Miss Brown told officers that even though he did have a key to the apartment, he was not permitted. He does not live there. He had no permission to go into her apartment and to take her personal property that was inside her apartment. And she believes that it was done because he did not want her to make funeral arrangements. Judge, again, these are alleged incidences, but at this point, I think that it would be best, they're out on a personal bond. It would be best to have a tether involved on Mr. Minion. Basically, we want this behavior to stop. We want this, whatever's going on between these two parties, we want this to stop. We would think that a tether would possibly put an end to this behavior, Judge. So that's why we're asking for it.
In Your Honor, if it's the people's position that Mr. Minion does not have any right to be in this apartment and does not live there, has no possessions there, I would like that noted in the record.
And Your Honor, if I may, on behalf of Ms. Brown, because there were statements about Ms. Brown being involved.
I mean, it sounds like, from what I can gather from the little information that I'm hearing right now, is that these are people who used to be in some type of relationship. And I believe it may have fallen apart either before or during when this incident has taken place. And now we are here at the court and we're facing these criminal matters and these criminal issues that are before us at this point in time. And so I'm not inclined to change the bond at this time, but let me strongly let you know, Mr. Minion, if you have real police contact, is there some way that he can surrender the key? You are not to go into that apartment. You are not to go back to get anything. I don't care if you've left anything at that apartment at all. I don't know if you cannot go back to this location at all. You cannot go back. Wherever you are that you are staying that is not at this location, you need to stay there and you need to stay away. The police need not to be called for either one of you. Either one of you who are out right now on a very generous bond, there needs to not be any contact with anyone. You need to act as adults. Now, I know it's going to be difficult because you're acting as grieving adults right now, but you need to act as adults who have a very serious matter pending at this time. If by January 2nd, you don't have this behavior under control, you can bring the motion again. And I'm going to recommend that Judge King not just put a tether, he put some money behind that tether to really let you know how serious this is at this point in time. So neither one of you are to have contact. Was anything else taken out the house besides the birth certificate?
Your Honor, if I can, on behalf of Ms. Brown, I was contacted by Ms. Brown that there was items taken plus the birth certificate. The funeral was scheduled for tomorrow, but based on the birth certificate being forged, allegedly, now the body cannot be released for a funeral to proceed. So I think there's a lot of issues that need to be addressed regarding the contact that's been pursued at the house that Ms. Brown was presiding at. She's very concerned and now has to find an attorney to now release or have that probate matter addressed regarding the funeral and the child's birth certificate.
Who made the bond for both of them? Who made this bond? I don't have the file. I might need to come down to the courtroom to see this file. I'm trying to figure out why y'all out on
it was the chief magistrate. And the people at that time were requesting either a high cash bond or remand, and we requested a tether for Mr. Minion due to also failure to appear history, due to CPS history. So the bond is what it is at this point, but we would agree with the court sentiments.
All right. It just sounds like a whole bunch of. All right. I'm going to issue a tether for you, Mr. Minion. It seems like everybody wants you to have a tether. And I'm this close to putting both of y'all and giving y'all some bonds, but it is Christmas. So I'm going to put you on a tether, Mr. Minion. You have a place that you're staying at this point in time. That tether needs to be to that location.
Well, Your Honor, will the restriction just be that he is supposed to stay away from that specific apartment?
Yeah, yes, it will be the typical restrictions to the apartment, to the area, not to have any contact. If you see Miss Brown, you got to turn. I don't know if he still has the birth certificate. We would like to have that. Somebody needs to bury this innocent victim.
Your Honor, I believe that Mr. Minion lives in the same apartment complex as this.
We're gonna have to find someplace else to live, or else I don't know what to tell him. At this point in time, this is terrible.
I understand, Your Honor. I understand it's terrible. It's the problem is that
I get it. Is that they were dealing with each other, and now they don't want to deal with each other, and they at each other's throats because of what has taken place and what happened. But we got everybody. They can't act like adults when they get in the presence of one another. So that's the problem. And then the problem is they involve the police. So now the police can't do other things that they need to do to protect our community and make sure everything is good. So when we can't act like adults in the community and we can't govern ourselves without having other people step in and tell us how to govern ourselves, this is what takes place.
I understand, Your Honor. My only point is that that these are just allegations from one defendant about the other one.
I get it. I get it. But what they gonna do over Christmas holiday?
Well, apparently they won't be getting together for Christmas holiday. But my point is that I don't understand how the
one gets it and the other doesn't get it. Yeah. And I do agree, and that's my other thing too. All right, no tether. Y'all can deal with the bond issue on January 2nd, 2024 in front of the Honorable Judge King.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. That concludes this hearing.
Calling case number 230-604-2201. The people of the state of Michigan versus Sterling Marquise Minion. 1 second. Defendant 2 is Calicia Lynetta Brown. Defendant 1 is being charged. Defendant 1 and 2 is being charged with count 1, homicide, manslaughter, and voluntary. Defendant 1 and 2 is also being charged with count 2 and 3 and 4, child abuse 2nd degree. Defendant 1 is being charged with weapons, firearm possession by a felon. Defendant 1 and 2 is being charged with weapons, felony, firearm. Defendant 1 and 2 is also being charged with count 7, weapons, felony, firearm. Defendant 1 and 2 is also being charged with count 8 and 9, weapons, felony, firearm. Defendant 1 is a habitual offender. Second offense known as set for probable cause today.
Appearances for the record, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning to your staff. My name is Ted Wallace, and I represent Mr. Sterling Minion. Mr. Minion.
Okay, we usually let the prosecutor go first, folks. Ms. Woods, your appearance, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. APA Tiffany Woods, P86189 for the people. And I also have another prosecutor on this case as well, Erin Wilmoth. I believe she's here.
Good morning, Your Honor. Erin Wilmoth, P82085, also appearing on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Rita White on behalf of Ms. Halisa Brown. She is present. If you can please unmute your device, Ms. Brown, and state your name for the record.
Halisa Brown.
Mr. Minion, tell us your name for the record. I brought Mr. Minion out the waiting room. I don't see him now. Anyway, what's your pleasure, counsels?
Your Honor, we would like the preliminary exam date.
That's correct.
And Mr. Wallace, are you waiving your client's appearance?
I am, Your Honor.
Court await the defendant's presence, continue to plead not guilty and set this matter for preliminary examination. How is January 16th at 10 o'clock?
That's a good date and time for Mr. Minion, Your Honor.
That works for me.
That works for,
at least for me.
That works for APA Woods as well. And Judge, I'd also ask to modify Sterling Minion's release conditions to at least add a tether. Judge, some things happened that we were made aware of, an apparent theft. I don't know if this happened to Defendant Brown. I don't know if her counsel would like to address the court in regards to that theft. There have been some issues of threatening behavior, a police report that we have of that. And also something happened at CPS regarding Mr. Minion and Miss Brown's family regarding threats and possible assaults. At this point, Judge, we would just feel better if Mr. Minion had a tether in place. We believe that that would put an end to the behavior that's been going on, Judge.
I thought Mr. Minion was on a tether.
No, Judge, he's not.
Mr. Wallace?
Your Honor, the people made this motion the last time we were here when there was a stand-in judge. They said that Mr. Minion had police contact or broke a no contact order, and they base that on the co-defendant's own statements. I haven't seen anything, and I don't think there has been anything that's shown that there's anything that backs up those claims. It's a very
I was very gracious in amending the defendant's bond so that they could attend their child's funeral. Prosecuting attorney at the time indicated that she had some concerns about that and that she feared that they would have some contact with child witnesses involved in this matter.
And I don't think
call it whatever the case may be, but Mr. Wallace, make no mistake about it, if that is in fact the case, your client is going to be sitting in jail to the resolution of this matter. Do you understand?
I understand, Your Honor. And I've spoken to Mr. Minion.
Judge, we would at this point still ask for you to put a tether on him. I don't know if defense attorney. I'm sorry?
I'm looking at revoking his bond if he violated this court's order.
Yeah, Judge, as far as we know, there was a burglary. I would prefer if defense counsel for Ms. Brown give you the facts of that, but there was an alleged burglary and theft that took place of some birth certificates. That burglary then pushed back the burial and funeral services for the victim in this case. We did go and get a birth certificate for Miss Brown so that she could proceed with the burial services of her son in a timely manner. We believe we had a police report that there was some threats made between the family members. Also, CPS made it aware to us that during an emergency CPS meeting that Mr. Minion and Miss Brown's family, the police had to be called, Judge, because there was threats being made during that meeting.
This afternoon, I want all parties to report here at 1:30.
Your Honor, I'm not in the country right now.
And I also am not available, but I would like to present on behalf of Ms. Brown.
When do you do back, Mr. Wallace?
I fly back in on the evening of the 3rd.
Okay, let's do it on the 4th then.
Yes, Your Honor.
What time, Judge?
We can do it first thing in the morning.
Oh,
I do have one hearing. That afternoon would be better for me, Judge.
Okay, we can do 1:30.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
Ms. White, and all parties must appear.
Yes, Your Honor.
yes, Your Honor, on behalf of Ms. Brown, I will acknowledge that the statements from the APA are particularly correct. I have received, prior to this hearing and prior to the previous hearing, I received several calls from Ms. Brown indicating that she had received several observations of the fact that her home was completely in complete disrepair and broken into. And yes, the birth certificate and other very, very sentimental items were taken. Also, since this matter has been pending, Ms. Brown has also received voicemail messages of threats and other communications from the co-defendant, Minion.
We'll go over that Wednesday. Bring it with you Wednesday.
Okay,
Thank
so
you,
at
Your Honor.
1:30?
Can I say something?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank
All
you.
right, so we have an exam date of January 16th at 10 o'clock. And we have a bond hearing at 1:30 on Wednesday, the 4th.
Yes, Your
Thank
Honor.
you, Judge.
1:30 p.m.
It's Thursday.
Judge, the 4th is a Thursday. Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, Thursday. I'm thinking today is my bad. All right.
I don't know what day it is either. I'll see you guys Thursday.
Okay.
Thanks, Judge.
Yes, Thursday.
This is just so tragic, but I still have so many questions. If they were still together, well, then I can see them, his belongings being at her house. If they were no longer together, whose gun was that? Was it his? Was it somebody else's? Did it happen at his house or did it happen at her house? And it's just, I have so many questions. How many other kids were there? Were they really young kids, really young and left alone? I mean, I just have a lot of questions. But all I know it is very, very tragic for everyone involved, both families, the mother, the father, even though the father seems like a poop head, I still, feel for him. He lost his son. It's just hard. Anyway, thank you all so very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.